Taoiseach, many in the opposition have pointed out what a disgraceful move it is to push through this amendment which will incentivise vulture funds to buy up estates if they can lease them back to local authorities. Now, you said, and nobody has really answered you, because you did ask a legitimate question, which is, do you simply want to turn off the supply of social housing, as if that's the choice. Either we have vulture funds or we don't get social housing. What is the answer to that question? If we need to, and we do need to deliver social and affordable housing, don't incentivise the vulture funds to purchase it and then lease it back to the local authorities. Cut out the vulture middleman and get the local authorities to buy it directly, which, by the way, is better value, will cost less over the long run, and will mean the state will actually have an asset, and then allocate that housing for both social and affordable housing. That's the answer. Now, the question is, why are you not doing that? That is the obvious answer to the question you posed. You were right to ask it, and nobody else has answered it, but that is the answer, Taoiseach. And that would actually be a long-term sustainable solution and prevent the turning off of the tap for social and affordable housing until we can get the direct construction of social and affordable housing up to the levels it should be at.
Raised a range of issues here, and particularly the stamp duty issue, which, by the way, was signalled some time ago by Ministers Donoghue and O'Brien in the context of the decision to increase to 10% in terms of 10% stamp duty on funds, so that it could not compete with first-time buyers, allied with planning decisions made by Minister O'Brien, and both combined measures then making it far more restrictive and essentially allowing the first-time buyers in terms of buying houses in estates and so on, giving them that opportunity, which of course they couldn't compete with the funds prior to those decisions being taken. At the time it was signalled in relation to leasing for social housing that they would be making provision for that. No, the reason being, and by the way, we need to move to a different model of leasing. The state should own the local debt. That's why I believe that, right? Secondly, Deputy Boyd Barrett, I don't believe the state should be competing with first-time buyers to buy houses. I don't believe that either. No, it's not better. No, it's not actually.
It's better than letting them do it.
It's not better. It's not better because it's squeezing first-time buyers out of the market. And the real issue is, we're in transition here. We're a year in government. The Housing for All strategy will make this transition. From the current leasing, there's been some in the pipeline, but there is an immediate issue of 2,400 houses, social housing, that can be provided through this leasing model. Now, hold on a second, please, just to make the point. We want those 2,400 families housed. Now, local authorities need to develop, in some instances, capacity and land to get into direct build. The leasing that we're talking about here, by the way, is not the dominant form or model of provision of social housing at all. Now, that gets lost in the debate, because one would imagine that every social house is going to be leased. It's not. Up to 80% right now will be either through approved social housing bodies or local authorities. That needs to increase. In my view, we need to go back to the days when local authorities built houses and built social houses. And that's what we want. Okay? Now, that will need capacity build-up in some of the local authorities, which you've acknowledged yourself, to be fair, in your presentation. Some of them need to get back to that, and they need to get into their heads that that's where it's going in terms of social housing. The state is also saying we have to get involved through the Land Development Agency and through local authorities to do affordable housing also, and provide opportunities. Because at the moment, we're at about 19 to 20,000 houses for 2021. It was 20,000 last year. That's not enough. It just isn't enough. But all I see is sloganeering, having a cut, objecting to this, that and the other in the midst of a housing crisis. Like, you take Shangana. Like, do you not take any bona fides? The government just approved the Shangana proposal, which involves social, affordable and cost rental. This year we have the first major cost rentals initiatives and scheme. Now, I want to expand that, where people can rent quite significantly below the market rate, enhancing affordability on the rental market for people. and workers in particular.
Taoiseach, if I could just interrupt, we're way over time on this question, so if we could maybe just...
But then there was a lot of questions. I want to try and do justice. Can we get an extra 5 minutes? Or
we can, yes. Will we take an extra 5 minutes?
I think we should get the answers,
Yeah, okay. We'll take an extra 5 minutes. Agreed.
So...
And if people would stop interrupting the Taoiseach, we might be able to get more questions.
When I